D-Gens assemble. I'm Justin Bruni, back with Heroes and Villains Fantasy Football with SGPN Fantasy Football, dropping by today to share my road to 50 picks in 50 days via the Underdog Fantasy app. And I'll also be doing a live draft, a live best ball draft via Underdog as I continue my pursuit for 150 drafts. Coming in close here, I think I've got about 27 or 28 spots left to fill for my best ball drafts. I believe I'm up to about 127 or so. So I'll be doing one more tonight. Going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to throw any questions you have in the chat. We'll jump on any like 2023 redraft or dynasty or IDP questions. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the board here, get going with some picks. I just can't stay away from Travis Kelce. The other day, I dropped 4 picks, including his week 1 stat line, 78.5 receiving yards against Detroit. They're also now offering a touchdown. I just have to take that. I have to imagine there's going to be a lot of offense available in that game. Tough to keep Travis Kelce out of the end zone when you're the Kansas City Chiefs and you're putting up 30-plus points. So I had to come back to the well with Travis Kelce. That would be my first pick here. I'm going to scroll down the board. If you guys haven't checked out Underdog, they've got a ton of week 1 props available now, or picks, whatever, is the safe words to say. If you haven't signed up with them, be sure to slam the promo code SGPN. They'll give you a 100% deposit match up to $100. This next game I'm looking at here, 9-10, working into the Sunday games. I'm looking at David Njoku, 36.5 receiving yards. I still see him as like the second wide receiver on this team, not necessarily Elijah Moore. I think that, Watson's going to have some trouble starting off the season, might lean on the run game a little bit more, run on, some of the lower ADOT targets like the tight end position. 36.5 is really low for him. Njoku was having a career season last year before getting hurt, before going down with injury. Definitely another safe one in my opinion. Just a very low floor there, 36.5. Moving down, I believe the next one I have is Deontay Johnson. So we'll skip through Minnesota and Tampa Bay. Yeah, Deontay Johnson at home, Steelers hosting the 49ers. 49ers, they're kind of a weird team in week 1. They lost last year to the Bears in week 1. A lot of fun, playing in the rain, Justin Fields sliding around, not making the best day for Trey Lance dynasty owners. Can't say that today is either. Guys getting carried through the mud as QB3. Hate to see it. But looking at Deontay Johnson here, he's looking at 50.5 receiving yards week 1. San Francisco, great defense, but at the same time, they actually allow a fair amount of production to receivers. I don't think that their secondary is anything amazing. So, seeing the volume that he's going to get, a guy that gets just a ton of targets time after time, love to see it. I can easily see him getting 8 or 9 targets in that game. Just a lower ADOT guy. Obviously, you have Pickens kind of opening up the downfield stuff. So I like Deontay Johnson in this one. 50.5 feels really good, coming in week 1, especially with this offense. They kind of want to, I feel like they want to overcorrect the Deontay Johnson narrative. I feel like they want to kind of dive in and make sure that he's getting his full bounty, we'll say, of options and opportunity. Again, 50.5, very low. Expect him to get a fair amount of targets in week 1. Let's see. Next up, I have Tyler Lockett. So let's move down to that game, skipping through Tennessee, New Orleans, Miami, Chargers. Get to it here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Oops, I think I may have skipped it. Nope, here he is. All right, Tyler Lockett, 62.5 receiving yards. I like the little extra bump in value you're going to get out of him with JSN most likely going to miss week 1, or if he is making it onto the field, he's probably in a situation where he's a questionable player. If he does play week 1, I can't imagine it's a ton of snaps. Got hurt in his last preseason game. I'm expecting him to probably miss that week, so I'm going to buy in on Tyler Lockett in week 1. Like what I'm getting there. And my last one, it's a homer pick. DJ Moore, 47.5 receiving yards. Again, very similar to Deontay Johnson. I think that he's going to get the bulk of the passing opportunities in the receiver room. Going to get a lot of targets week 1. It's a rivalry game hosting the Packers. The post Aaron Rodgers Packers. The Bears are going to be ready to dig their claws into the cheese, take a big chunk out of Green Bay. Come week 1, I think they're going to want to start with a splash. They obviously gave up a lot for DJ Moore, the first overall pick in this year's draft. I think they're going to continue to kind of bang the drum for him and continue to give him options, or opportunities, I should say. So see if I can get the full set of picks up here. We've got 5 picks, We've got Travis Kelce with at least a touchdown week 1 versus Detroit. That's opening night. David Njoku over 36.5 receiving yards against Cincinnati. Kind of a battle for Cleveland game. Again, I see him as being more of like a wide receiver too, rather than just a tight end on this team. Deontay Johnson, 50.5 receiving yards at home versus the 49ers. Could even see an upset in that game. I would not be surprised if Pittsburgh walked away with a win in that one. The Steelers always find a way to win somehow. Tyler Lockett, again, home game, hosting the Rams. Rams, very bad defense. I feel like this number is very juicy. Could even see it go up a bit. And also just to show you, they're not offering any DK Metcalf props. So getting Tyler Lockett at 62.5 for an improved offense, he gets a little bit of bump, like I said, with JSN most likely hurt. So I feel really good with that. And then DJ Moore, 47.5 receiving yards. Again, it's a homer pick, but feel very comfortable with it, especially with that rivalry game up against the Packers. Going to be an interesting one. All right, let's pull up the draft here, get diving into that. I need to share that screen. Give me a second here. Get the old present going. There we go. I got it dialed in here. Get it pulled up, and let's see. We're waiting for 5 people. If you're somehow in the chat and you want to jump in, by all means, go ahead. You can snipe all my picks. Let's see how long it's going to take here. Got my handy dandy beverage. 4 people. Let's ride. Let's go. Again, if you haven't used Underdog, be sure to use promo code SGPN. They'll give you a 100% deposit match up to $100. Looks like we are filled up. Did we fill up? That was quick. All right, cool. At the 2 spot, the shuffle loves Bruni at all times. See if I see any familiar faces in here. I do not. Pouty, this guy right here. That looks familiar. A name that I believe I've seen in the streets. Not one that I can identify by name. And just one badge, bro. Just one red badge. We should be fine here. I am most likely going to be double tapping some Jamar Chase here. I have a lot of Justin Jefferson, a whole lot of them. So got to diverge a little bit. There have been some times where I've dipped into Tyreek Hill at 2, but I'm going to go Jamar Chase here. I really do not love starting these drafts off with a week 7 bye, just because there's a ton of value in week 7, down the board, available in the back end of the draft. So that will be not great, but we'll make day. We'll get through it. Don't worry. 2 seconds here. So pretty chalky, unless this guy somehow doesn't go with Justin Jefferson, which it took him 2 seconds to do so. No surprise there. But we're going to be following this one all the way through. So we'll kind of go like pick by pick, give some feedback what we're looking at here. I think, we can bring this up. Get the full picture of the board. I think that'll be a lot better. Oh, don't worry. Coming back. Alejandro still hasn't even made his pick. All right. Here we go. Alejandro running out the clock. All right. Christian McCaffrey may have been an auto pick. Not sure. It's time to close the Zoom meeting, Alejandro. Tyreek Hill after Christian McCaffrey. So again, very chalky here. Maybe we get some shift. Cooper Kupp keeping it straight, keeping it real, keeping it clean. Travis Kelce, a boring start, I'd say. I was going to say a not boring start, but it's very chalky, very boring. Austin Eckler. Are we just going to go right down the board here? Life's MVP. Are you gonna take a shot at one of these receivers, or are you going to go Bijan Robinson? Still like Eckler a lot. Getting him at pick 7, not a bad value. Just very chalky here. Stephon Diggs, Life's MVP, averts away from ADP. Let's see, K. Hewitt. Also, bringing Nick Chubb up the board. Now we're getting spicy. Now we're doing some things. Now we're having some fun. I like it. Nick Chubb usually available in round 2, so getting aggressive with some Nick Chubb exposure. I like that. Derrick Henry. Now that is spicy. 110. Okay, let's go. I've gotten Derrick Henry plenty of times coming back around to the 1 through 3 pick. So that's early. You don't need to do that. I would advise against taking Derrick Henry in the first round. You can easily get him at pick 15. So SVR, that's a That's a no. That's a wag of my finger, sir. Let's see. A.J. Brown. Yeah, that's about right. A.J. Brown ahead of C.D. Lamb. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown over A.J. Brown, but that's just me. The turn, Pouty. He went running back, receiver, Bijan Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not bad. Not a lot of times you're getting Bijan in the turn, so I don't hate that. Getting a little bit better value on the rookie running back. Let's see, Saquon Barkley off the board. Yeah, it's about right. About that spot. Jonathan Taylor feels a little early. Seeing him go at a little bit better value as well. He went at pick 15. His ADP is 26, so not a reach. But as you can see, this lobby is going to be aggressive with the running back position. So I'm just going to keep double tapping receivers, see what we can get out of it. We'll see. Say Kay Hewitt back on the clock. Nick Chubb. Let's see if he goes receiver here. Is he going to double tap running back? Tony Pollard. He absolutely does. Kay Hewitt and SVR. We've got the boomers in the draft. Running back. I will be doing probably wide receiver, running back. We'll see what's available. We'll see what the board gives us here. I am kind of anxious though, because this we've got, was that 4, 5, 6, 7. Was that 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? We've actually had more running backs drafted by pick 17 than receivers. Now it's 8-8. Interesting. Very interesting. C.D. Lamb at pick 17. That's rare. That's not happening often. Devontae Adams getting back this far. There you go. Devontae Adams off the board. I speak it into existence. These guys are going to make me take DK Metcalf. They're going to do it. They are going to do it. DK Metcalf, my highest exposed player so far. Haven't quite cracked $1,000 with him just yet. Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, but we're getting close. I think we're about to crack 900. I think I'm at 875, Mr. DK Metcalf. And that's most likely what I'm looking at here. I like Devontae Smith, Calvin Ridley, T. Higgins, but DK Metcalf to me has a much higher ceiling than all three of those players because he is a much firmer control of the red zone targets in his offense. When they get down to the scoring territory, it's going to be any one of those running backs and DK Metcalf taking the majority. So I am going Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf. I took Metcalf over Ridley and T. Higgins. I have no problem with that. Per ADP, they should have gone. They should have gone before him. But I didn't want this Justin Jefferson character to wind up with DK. He can gladly take Ridley and Higgins if you'd like. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of weird. Feeling like taking Patty Mahomes with Jamar Chase and DK. I know it's not by the book. You're looking to, typically get Joe Burrow, right? Geno Smith with those guys. But man, I always like getting elite QBs. It's always a nice way to start. But look at that run of receivers. Goodness my. C.D. Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Justin Jefferson owner. He's like, I ain't waiting for Kirk. I'm taking Patty. That's a huge run of receivers. What do we want to do? I got T. Higgins, Amari Cooper. I'm going to go with running back. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs here. I'm buying, the surcharge. That's for certain. I'm paying for it, but he is one of my guys, someone I've been banging the drum for, and it's really thin at running back right now. Like, he is not a guy that fits the mold of all the other running backs that have been selected. Not a guy that's going to have, 250 carries this season, let alone 200. But I do believe he can finish with a top 10, RB season, or top 12, be an RB1, considering his potential PPR upside. I look at Christian McCaffrey's rookie season. He didn't even rush for 500 yards, but he was RB10 backed by 80 catches, just having a ton of opportunity in the Panthers passing game. Jahmyr Gibbs has gotten comps to CMC, to Alvin Kamara. So I am a believer. No props available for him on opening night. All right, so after Jahmyr Gibbs went Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. I snuck Gibbs in there between the elite QBs and Patrick Mahomes, Hurts, and Allen. Followed by Allen, we went T. Higgins, 3 straight receivers for Swish. Mark Andrews, bully tight end. He goes Kelsey, Devontae Adams, Mark Andrews, S. Chill. Going to be interested to see how your team plays out. Fantasy guides, running back, receiver with Keenan Allen, backed up in the third. Josh Jacobs, Deebo Samuel, DJ Moore, Lamar Jackson off the board, which is becoming more and more popular. Seeing him come off the board in the third round, really not that far off of these other three elite QBs. I have seen Lamar Jackson also be drafted ahead of Josh Allen. Not recommended, but hey, take your shots. Play the game. Lamar Jackson, Amari Cooper at the 312. Let's see what Pouty does here in the turn. I'm expecting some balance here. I think maybe he goes Ramondre, go with a week 11 bye. I think that'll play into these other guys. Cooper's a 5, St. Brown's a 13, I believe, and Bijan is I'm not sure. Maybe he's a 10. I'm not sure what the Falcons bye week is. Jerry Jeudy, double tap receivers. I like that. Let's take a look here at the pulse for receiver. You always got to know where they're at. So left on the board here, starting round 4, Christian Watson, Mike Williams, Drake London, Terry McLaurin, DeAndre Hopkins, Brandon Ayuk, and Christian Kirk. I really like a lot of these guys other than Christian Watson. I think Christian Watson is an absolute waste of that ADP. I think he's actually started to fall. Yeah, he's at wide receiver 22. That may not be a huge fall. I think he was as high as wide receiver 20 at one point, but I think some of the market's starting to, finally see that, not going to be a top 30 wide receiver this season. I just don't think Jordan Love can pull it off. You might see some spike weeks, but there's going to be massive regression from his numbers from last season. My guy, JF1, Justin Fields at the 4-3. Breece Hall, Kay Hewitt going bully running back, Nick Chubb, Tony Pollard, Deebo Samuel, Breece Hall. I'm not in love with it, but it can work. I would, probably halt there. Once I only really want to draft 5 running backs. So if I already have 3 in the first 4 rounds, to me, it's time to make a massive pivot, really attack receiver for the next 3 to 4 rounds. Joe Mixon after him. That feels early. Let me take a look at that. Joe Mixon. No, pick 41, ADP 41. Spot on. Joe Mixon as a 4th round running back. Don't hate that. There goes Christian Watson. Turd nugget. Travis Etienne at pick 42. Like that a lot. That's a nice build by fantasy guides. Eckler, Garrett Wilson, Keenan Allen, Travis Etienne. I like what that guy's working with. Let's see if Swish here likes to stay with 0 RB. He's got Kupp, Waddle, Higgins. 10 seconds on the clock. I don't hate going 0 RB. I've done it many a times. I'm up to draft, 120, whatever, 127, 128. So I've done it a lot, but I like my team still a lot better when I balance things out. Najee Harris, good pick there. One of my guys this year. Let's see, this next guy, Chris, has Hill, Olave, Josh Allen. Again, I would predict a running back here. Maybe a Kenneth Walker. Ooh, a Brandon Ayuk. Leaning in. I might have to bully out some running backs here. I don't necessarily want to do it. I already have 1. I don't think I'll get to 3. I at least have to take 1 here because this stretch here from the first pick to the 5th pick, just a lot of receivers in this section so far. So we got to, try to get some leverage here. I am going to take Aaron Jones, I believe. Yep, we're going to go Aaron Jones here, and then we'll probably get another receiver. Don't love Jordan Love. I don't love the passing game for the Packers, but gosh, I got to believe that Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon get used a ton. I just have to believe it. I don't know where else they're going to get offense from this year. All right, let's see what Dude Blaze does. Dude Blaze, 823. 8 seconds. Mike Williams, not a bad pick. But again, there's a lot of these receivers right here I like. Like I said, Terry, Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, the aforementioned Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. It's kind of tough to pull that trigger at that ADP if I even know if he's going to miss a few weeks. Let's see. I'm thinking, Yep, he went Terry. Pretty much what I was thinking here. So I've got Chase and DK. I really don't want to lean into the buys just yet. We're going to dip into the Christian Kirk pool. Really like what the Jags have going on this season. To me, he's still their 1. Don't get me wrong. I love Calvin Ridley. #DGenNation. But Christian Kirk, I mean, they still pay this guy a lot of money. The offense is better. They have a deep running game. I believe that they're going to pass the ball a lot more than they did last year. And I think he's going to be a big benefactor. Even if he takes a slight dip, I could see his efficiency numbers going up. So my start so far, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Christian Kirk. I did pass up on Joe Burrow. Could have had that Chase and Burrow stack. But again, I like to build out my team. I don't think he'll fall to me. I don't see that happening. But I can find some other stacks for sure. DK with Geno Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs with Jared Goff, very favorable. I don't really want to do Aaron Jones and Jordan Love, but I'm very underweight on Jordan Love. I do not have a lot of him. Woo! James Cook, my goodness. I love me some James Cook, but that's early, brother. That's super early. Pick 52, ADP 76. Wow, that's early, pal. I mean, he went with the stack. He has Josh Allen, now has James Cook. I'm guessing he's probably going to be someone that's looking to grab Gabe Davis, but that is rich. Starting with James Cook as your RB1. Who else is on the board still? Like Dameon Pierce. Still going to get a ton of volume. Cam Akers is going to get a lot of volume. David Montgomery, he's closer down to that ADP for James Cook, but I'm certain this guy could have gotten James Cook on the way back. That's a wag of my finger right there. After James Cook went Joe Burrow. Ouch. DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Herbert. I like this team here for sure. Fantasy guides. Eckler again, Wilson, Allen, Etienne, Herbert. I like that. TJ Hawkinson, Darren Waller. Yikes. That seems a little early for Mr. Waller. No, I guess not. 57 for ADP 60. He's just moving up. The public is shifting those numbers. Let's see. We saw George Pickens and Deontay Johnson back to back. They will not escape the 5th round. I don't hate it, but I still like Deontay Johnson over George Pickens. I feel like that person may have moved him up a little bit. About 8 spots. 8 spots. So Pickens, ADP 66. Took him at pick 58. There goes Dameon Pierce. Bijan, Amon-Ra, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. Not a bad start for Putty at the corner there. I don't hate that. Let's see what he does with his double tap here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Do it. Make the pick. Do it. Gabe Davis. He saw what Swish was doing. He's like, nah. Or I'm sorry, what Chris was doing. Chris, 4, 1, 6, 5, 8. Tyler Lockett. Okay, moving ahead of JSN. That's fashionable. I mean, like I said, JSN could be out a few weeks. I don't think his injury is major, but I do see him missing out on potentially week 1. I don't know if I love that wide receiver group. I mean, of course, you love A.J. Brown, but backed up with Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett. I mean, he's been absolutely consistent the past few seasons, but I just have to imagine this year is going to be up and down with all the weapons that they have. Bevy of running backs and, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, and then you have Lockett, DK Metcalf, my guy, and JSN. Like, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed there, and don't be surprised when Noah Fant comes in and, steals somebody's dinner when he just walks into the end zone with a wide open touchdown, and we're all, yelling at our televisions. Mike Evans, Jackson Smith and Jigba, not far off of Tyler Lockett. Fantasy guides, buying the dip on JSN. Alexander Madison, I think he could have did better. Chill. I think I think there's probably someone else I like a lot more than him. Probably David Montgomery. I'd be willing to move him up the board. Miles Sanders, he's a little banged up, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be ready for week 1. But I think just the injury, just seeing him get hurt in preseason just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. J.K. Dobbins, I probably would have wanted J.K. Dobbins over Madison, especially if you have Mark Andrews. I think that's a nice little bring back. But hey, I mean, if you're just a full believer and buyer in Madison, by all means, go ahead. But I'm not one of them. I have very little to few shares of Alexander Madison this season. It's a pass-heavy offense, and I see all those running backs really being similar in value and in skill. I don't think that Madison is just light years better than Ty Chandler. So we'll see what happens there, but I don't view Madison as like a massive threat in the NFL. All right, George Kittle. Next is Alejandro, and then me. I'm back on the clock. Ooh, Chris Godwin. It was like literally like the Chris Godwin was like coming out of my mouth. Unreal, guy. Unreal. I do like me though some Mike Pittman. people were a little bit more down on him through the offseason because of the fact that we didn't know who the starter was going to be. And, honestly, from like a football standpoint, I think that Gardner Minshew should start, but it looks like the Colts are just wheels up with Richardson. Like they're just going to live and die with whatever he does, whether it be a booming play or a booming accident, whatever the results are going to be, they're just going to live and die with it. So, and, if they actually do somehow wind up moving on from Jonathan Taylor, I think it really elevates the situation for Michael Pittman. I'm not in that school of thought. I think that Jonathan Taylor is going to stay. He's going to stick around. But at the same time, if someone's out there wants to get crazy and makes a massive move for him, you will see a huge, okay, maybe not huge, but you'll see an uptick for the Michael Pittman value as well. And I think if Richardson really comes along, Pittman could benefit from that more so, right? Like if he is taking those deep shots downfield, who's going to be collecting them most likely? Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce. All right, what are we doing here? Pick 74. We have some guys ahead of ADP, some behind. I'm probably going to go with David Montgomery here. I've been banging the bus. I already have Gibbs. Okay. Getting tricky. Let's go with Zay Flowers. One of my more preferred rookies this year. I like Quentin Johnston. I like JSN, but I think just the clear path to production for Zay Flowers this season is probably the easiest narrative to buy of any of these receivers. I believe I left Jordan Addison. Yes, I left Jordan Addison on the board. His ADP was ahead of him. Quentin Johnston just went. But I think when I look at the competition for Zay Flowers, I think it's just the easiest group of rookie receivers to attack that can move up the depth chart or just be at the top of the depth chart immediately or within a week or two of starting the season. I'm a bit higher on OBJ than most of the public, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep things in reality. Does he play the full season? Is he going to be someone that's like a booming player every week, or is he closer to boom or bust? From what I'm seeing, Zay Flowers is going to get a ton of usage. They want to open the playbook up. They want to get sideline to sideline routes, really creative, easy passing plays. I think Zay Flowers fits that mold the best. All right, so after him, we went Dallas Goedert, Quentin Johnston, Kyle Pitts, Marquise Brown. Shout out David Montgomery. Fantasy guides, your team is just a beauty. This team is gorgeous. Montgomery, JSN, Jay Herbie, Travis Etienne, Keenan Allen, Wilson, Eckler. That is a gorgeous squad. I mean, the fact that he was able to get Wilson with Eckler is just ridiculous because Wilson is typically going between picks, 11 and 14. So to get Eckler and Wilson is absolutely fantastic. Getting a receiver that's typically going in the first round, plus Austin Eckler. I mean, that's what you're looking for. So great start from him. He is going to be trouble in this lobby. All right, after him, we went Brandon Cooks, Mike Thomas, James Conner, Isaiah Pacheco. Not bad. I am at 2 running backs and 5 wide receivers. Feeling good about that. Going to start to divert to potentially quarterback and or tight end. In recent drafts, I've been kind of sticking tight end at the very end of the draft, kind of using like my last 3 picks or my last 2 picks with like maybe pick 14 on a tight end, something like that. Haven't been spending any high draft capital. Right now, coming into, round 8, we've got Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth, David Njoku. As I mentioned earlier with my David Njoku picks, I really like Njoku. At the ADP 108, we're going to be, we'd be looking to take him ahead of that if we want to use him or target him on our next couple of picks. I think this is going to be a wait and see draft. So maybe double tap running back here. I like what I see at the top of this board. Kamara, Swift, Rashad White, Dalvin Cook, Khalil Herbert, Antonio Gibson, AJ Dillon, Zach Charbonnet, Brian Robinson. So yeah, I'm most likely going to get 2 here. And then we'll be at 4, 5, which is not bad for the first 9 rounds. Excuse me. I don't hate that. Rashad Bateman, Jordan Addison. Okay. Jordan Addison. That's a bit of a dip. That's a bit of a dip. Pick 87 with, where'd you go? Pick 87 with an ADP of 72. Yikes, carambas. That is a fall for Mr. Addison. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Alvin Kamara off the board, DeAndre Swift, big bucks, no running backs. Let's go. I would like a couple of running backs at the top of this list. I believe Rashad White would be my wish list here. I would like to get Rashad White. I need to make it 3 picks. 3 picks. I don't have the breakdowns for each of those teams up in front of me, just this draft board. So we'll see what we get. Rashad White. Oh my goodness. Why would you do it, Swish? Why would you do it, Swish? Swish now with a very balanced squad, 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs, a tight end, and a QB. Tua Tagovailoa. Nice. I like it, Chris. One of your better picks, I'd say, considering he drafted Tyreek Hill with his first overall pick, bringing back the stack. And I don't believe that was necessarily a reach. But he has Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa. I don't love that. Sky Moore, what the hey? I guess I broke the receiver button. Oh, I guess he went after ADP. That's fine. All right, so let's see here. Hey, where's my team? Go back to my team. I think we're going to go Dalvin Cook here. I do not have a lot of Dalvin Cook since he signed with the Jets. Yeah, let's go Dalvin. I'm worried about the splits a little bit, but I'll take the spike weeks. He's my 3rd running back. I'm about to double tap the position here. We'll see what we get. If I could somehow land Khalil Herbert on that mix, that would be great. No issues right now. No conflicting bye weeks for the running backs. Let's check back in at receiver. I wonder if I can make it back around and be comfortable. No, I'm going to take a 4th running back here, but then that's going to be it for running back for a while. Maybe the entire draft. We'll see. I've been doing some 4 running back drafts recently, and I don't hate them. I don't. They got to be good. Don't be taking too many risks with the 4 running back build. Zach Charbonnet. I don't hate it. I wouldn't have minded getting some Charbonnet, but now I've got Herbert. So my squad from the top here, Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, Dalvin Cook, Khalil Herbert. Feeling good, feeling right. Hump day night. All right. After Khalil Herbert, we have Cortland Sutton, Brian Robinson. I would expect Antonio Gibson to be picked in the next 3 picks, 101 through 103. Pull this board down here so you can see a little bit better. Oh, you guys don't see that board. You guys are looking at what I'm looking at. We gotta change that up. That's what I get for not looking at the StreamYard screen. There we go. There it is. Look at that beautiful board. Look at that thing. Just look at it. Brian Robinson, Elijah Moore, Anthony Richardson, Antonio Gibson. Nope, guess not. That guy did just draft 2 running backs, so perhaps not. Let's see here. Anthony Richardson, pick 102. That's not bad. I think it's right at ADP. Yeah, he's ADP 100. I can live with that. Dan Jones, not far after. Probably prefer Dan Jones, just a little bit more equipped for the NFL. Romeo Dubes for SVR. I don't love this guy's receivers. I don't like this build. I don't like it. He's got Justin Fields. I like Justin Fields. Derrick Henry took way too early. Jonathan Taylor took way too early. And then took James Conner at ADP. That doesn't make sense. Where'd you go, SVR? And then who was after that? George Pickens, Jahan Dotson. Again, I like Dotson, but you really need him to boom this season if he's going to be your 3rd wide receiver. I get him in a lot of builds as my 4th or 5th. Jordan Addison, Romeo Dubes backing up those receivers. Not the best value in my opinion. Tyler Boyd, David Njoku, shout out. Njoku's just a freak. Like, the dude's just so athletic. He's so freaking big. Like, Elijah Moore, I think, can make a difference in that lineup. I think he'll definitely be more served with the Browns than he will with the Jets. But, man, Njoku's going to be a beast. Let's see. Nico Collins, one of my sleepers for this year. Like what he's working with, the opportunity down there. Was picked ahead of ADP, but, that's what happens when you have someone like me just knob gobbling up all the wide receivers. Jamison Williams, 10-3. Not terrible. I think that's pretty much on his ADP. Yeah, it's like 3 picks ahead. That's fine. SVR is going to need it. He's going to need some back end value for the second half of the season for sure, especially with the group of receivers that he has assembled. Has Antonio Gibson been drafted yet? Man, they're sleeping on Buddy. Could he make it back to me? I couldn't believe that. I can't believe that's going to happen. I thought for sure he would go very soon after Brian Robinson. Most of the, at least in recent drafts, most of the time I've been seeing Gibson go ahead of Brian Robinson. So very interesting to see that. I gotta imagine he's coming up here. If he makes it back to me, I'll take him. Don't make me do it, but I'll do it. I'm thinking another receiver here, maybe a receiver and a QB. We're at pick 119, so I'll probably dabble into the Geno Smith. Yeah, probably Geno Smith here. I could play defense and prevent the double. Was it Dude Blazer? I was about to say double Blazer. Dude Blazer from taking Kirk Cousins, but could just also be a nice guy. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. We'll see how it plays out. Antonio Gibson at pick 114. Just speak it into existence. That's all. 14 picks after ADP. I salute you, Fantasy Guides. Fantasy Guides is killing this draft. Like, he is murdering this thing. His running backs are Eckler, Etienne, David Montgomery, and Alvin Kamara and Antonio Gibson. That is solid. He does have some work to do at receiver, but man, that is a good running back room. Just showing you that you don't have to over prioritize running backs early. Like, he went pick one, yeah, but that run of receivers late, that really helped him with the early run of running backs helped him get Garrett Wilson. Very interesting stuff. Let's see. Alejandro, Jalen Warren. Okay. Do I play defense? I feel like if I go Kirk Cousins, this guy's going to go Geno Smith. I don't do this very often, so let's say screw it. Let's say screw it. Nah, screw saying screw it. I'm a nice guy. Take your guy. Take your guy, Justin Jefferson. I mean, he already drafted Patrick Mahomes, so getting Mahomes and Kirk Cousins on the same team, like, how many weeks do you think that Kirk Cousins is going to outscore Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, you'll always have a good QB in your lineup, but I just don't like that style. Let's see if he does it. He may not. He may just say screw Cousins. Doesn't mean I'm going to take him. He does take Kirk Cousins. I just don't like that. I don't like taking Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes. I've seen it, here and there. It's not a strategy that I am that I'm pushing, that I would support. It's just not going to work out. Great QB, late QB. That's how I mix it up. Rashee Rice, okay, you got a little stack there with Mahomie, and I'm going to go Juju Smith-Schuster. Yep. Great situation. Should lead the team in targets. I'm going to be more happy about his value when Bailey Zappi gets on the field. Bailey Zappi going to be a darling this year. Going to be making a lot of Mac Jones stands upset. Their schedule is just too hard. Like, I could see the Patriots starting off 0-5. Are you still going to ride with him at that point? Are you still going to continue to, go with Mac Jones? I don't think so. Bailey Zappi by week 6. If not, I would say after the bye. After the bye, I could see them at best being 3-7. You get Bailey Zappi down the stretch of the season. All right, after Juju, we went Jacoby Myers, Tank Bigsby, Jamal Williams. Good 11th round picks, in my opinion. I have a 1-4-6 build. I will most likely be targeting, probably a receiver and another QB on the way back. Most likely Jared Goff. I don't know if he'll make it. He's at the top of that board. It's never easy when that's the case. All right, so Tank Bigsby, Jamal Williams, Allen Lazard. I'm hoping that Allen Lazard owner wants Aaron Rodgers on the way back. That would be helpful. Have Anthony Richardson, pairing Richardson with a I would say a late and elite QB is pretty solid. I've been getting a lot of Aaron Rodgers recently just because, when you look at like the most efficient quarterback in the 11th, 12th, 13th round, how can you say no? Last season, he threw 12 interceptions, but for 10 straight seasons before last year, he had less than 8 interceptions. Sorry, less than 8.5 interceptions. There were some seasons where he threw 8. One of my picks, the road to 50 picks in 50 days. Aaron Rodgers under 8.5 interceptions this season. Let's see. Russ Wilson, don't like it. I don't like Russ Wilson before Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a top 12 QB for me. All right. Russ Wilson, Jerick McKinnon, Michael Gallup, Darnell Mooney, Devin Achane, Dalton Schultz. I like me some Dalton Schultz. I really do. Did not believe he was going to make it back to me, though. I don't mind tight ends in this spot. I've been getting Tyler Higbee. I've drafted a fair amount of Dalton Schultz all off season long. I don't hate those guys. Sam Laporta could be a nice little stack for me with Goff. I might try that. But I don't think I'll need to take a quarterback. I mean, if Dude Blazer wants to take a third QB, that's fine, but I might do that. I might actually fade the receiver position and maybe get Laporta or Higbee here, and then probably park my last two picks with tight end. Late tight ends, really liking like Trey McBride, Cade Otton, Mike Gesicki. I know Mike Gesicki had a preseason injury, but I feel like he is more of a friendly target for whether it be Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. Just completely misused in the Miami offense last year when McDaniels came in. Jared Goff, fantasy guides. I don't know if you're watching this, but you are making me not happy. Not happy drafting such a beautiful team. And there goes Aaron Rodgers. Dang nubbit. Dang nubbit. Jordan Love, Derek Carr, Brock Purdy. Might have to lean into a Higbee and Matthew Stafford stack, it would appear. I am getting Tyler Higbee right here, getting him after ADP, so I don't hate that. Believe me, I've been in some aggressive lobbies recently, and I've had to take Tyler Higbee way ahead of his ADP. Let's see, so I'll probably come back to receiver here then. Might be Jonathan Mingo. DJ Chark already getting hurt. What are you doing, DJ Chark? Stop getting hurt. Roshan Johnson, good pick out of our guy here, Dude Blazer. Looking at running back, I've got Dame Harris, Raheem Mostert, Kenny Gainwell, Zeke Elliott. I think I'm going to pass on those guys. Again, I like the group that I have: Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Dalvin Cook, Khalil Herbert. What I'm getting from like Harris or Zeke are just potential red zone carries and touches. I might have to wait for some more Devin Singletary shares. I'm thinking some Jonathan Mingo here. Let's see. Do I want to go Laporta? Yeah, screw it. I like plenty of these receivers. Let's go Laporta. So we're double tapping tight end. Screw wait until the end of the draft. I already told you who I like back there. And I'm pretty sure a couple of you are sniping me. So we'll divert. And that doesn't let fantasy guides get Laporta. I know what you were thinking. He doesn't have a tight end yet. I'm not letting it happen, fantasy guides. I see you. Kenny Gainwell, Raheem Mostert, as I just recently cited. Dude Blazer did take Cole Kmet in that mix. His first tight end. Let's see, so Mostert, we've got Swish on the clock. 2, 3, 1, 5, 3. Let's see what Swish is working with. 1, 5, 5, 1 balance, as all things should be. Going, he's 1, 6, 5, 1 now. Going a little heavy on the running back. Again, I don't hate it, but I just don't see a ton of opportunities for Damian Harris as an every down back. Yeah, he could have a fair amount of touchdowns, but I still don't think he's like in the double-digit touchdown conversation. I have to imagine that Josh Allen can steal some rushing touchdowns in the red zone just from improvising, not like direct QB runs. I would suspect, on the goal line, if you're a Dame Harris owner, there's probably going to be a goal line sneak from Josh Allen every now and again, as long as he doesn't fumble the ball. Josh Allen at the 1, you bum. I lost me like $5,000 last year. It's no big deal. Prolong the game. Let some of these dudes in battle royales pad their stats a little bit more in overtime. Yeah. Thanks, Josh Allen. He's also dating an Avenger. What is that all about? Just getting away with everything. All right. I am at 1-4-6-2. Definitely parked at tight ends, still parked at running back. So we're looking at a QB and a receiver on the way back. Life's MVP looks like he just clocked out. Jake Ferguson. That's going to happen. That's an auto pick if I've ever seen it. His third tight end, pick 152 with an ADP of 170. Jake Ferguson. That's an auto pick. As the kids say, it's quite sus. I don't know if they would put in the quite, but they would say it's sus. Isaiah Hodgins, pick 153, ADP 169. I like Isaiah Hodgins, but come on, buddy. Come on, Kay Hewitt. Let's have some nuance here, huh, bud? Oh, these receivers are bad, Kay Hew. They're not great. You know, Deebo Samuel, he's on my poo-poo list this year for sure. I hate when this thing just like takes away my screen. There you go. Deebo Samuel, Mike Thomas, Zay Jones. Like I like Zay Jones, but come on now. He's a third wide receiver in that group. Michael Gallup, Jalen Hyatt, and Isaiah Hodgins. I mean, am I just gonna have to take Darius Slayton with my last pick and show him how it's done? I might just have to. Let's see. Jonathan Mingo, Alec Pierce. I feel like that's a bit of a fall for Mr. Mingo. Only 3 picks. ADP 153. He was pick 156. Alec Pierce also right at ADP. So don't hate it, Pooty. Don't hate it. Undervalued players for sure, but I think it's also indicative of their potential workload. Like you don't think of those guys as being somehow like target hogs unless you get some type of significant injury. But he has a really good depth of wide receivers here, like Amon-Ra, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Gabe Davis, Nico Collins, Jonathan Mingo, Alec Pierce. Like if you're drafting receivers in bulk, that's a great way to do it. Load up on the top end talent first. After him, DPJ. Always love me a good DPJ pick. Zeke Elliott, pick 159. Jaden Reed, 160. You guys have been seeing this stuff about Zeke Elliott catching passes. What's that all about? Like, what is Bill Belichick trying to do? Why does he have to make people so angry all the time? Bill, like, just like take a Valium, chill out. You know, he's made for the goal line. Why are you trying to feed him passes when you got Ramondre Stevenson, son? I don't get it. I don't understand. Make me understand, Bill, please. Jaden Reed, Adam Thielen. I got a Thielen. Ooh, this is a pretty decent group too. Life's MVP with the receivers: Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Brandon Cooks. I like that. Odell Beckham, KJ Osborne. Not in love with KJ Osborne. Don't hate KJ Osborne. And Adam Thielen. That's how you get Adam Thielen. Like he should be your 6th receiver, or is that his 7th? That's his 7th receiver. I like that. Ooh. They poo-pooed my Higbee stack. They poo-pooed all over it. 4 straight quarterbacks. Y'all are sniping. And they're gonna make me do it. They're gonna make me get some Sam Howell. These punks make me get Sam Howell on a 5 quarterback run in the 14th round. I don't even have any Washington players. I was about to say Redskins. It was coming out of my mouth. I was just like, oh no, don't do that. No commandos for me other than Sam Howell. Are they going to make me draft Cole Turner and Diami Brown? This lobby's making me feel all sorts of way. I do not like that run of quarterbacks. Kyler Murray. First off, Kyler Murray over Matthew Stafford and Brock Purdy is ridiculous. Kenny Pickett too. Come on, S. Chill. Do better. And that's your 3rd quarterback. Come on, pal. Come on. Kyler Murray would have been there waiting for you. All right. Zamir White, Luke Musgrave went. Let's grab a receiver here. They're going to make me grab DJ Chark. Oh, no. Here we go. We got a nice little stackaroo. A little around 14, 15 stack there. A little Sam Howell, Curtis Samuel. All right. Let's ride. I'm working with 2, 4, 7, 2. I will be adding a 3rd tight end and or 3rd quarterback. I have not yet decided. I really like Laporta. I think he could have a big season. I mean, I really don't see that big a difference between him and TJ Hawkinson. So, and he's a starter. He's just the dude. Like Dalton Kincaid, he's tight end 12. Yet he has pure competition. Like Dalton Kincaid is not an every down tight end. Luke Musgrave, also going to be the starter. Good situation, but the offense not so good. Not great. Lions, they scored like the 5th or 6th most points last year. You know, if we can keep that energy rolling, give me some Sam Laporta. All right. Curtis Samuel, Irv Smith, Greg Dulcich, DJ Chark, Tajay Spears. We are moving. We are cooking with picks here. Fantasy guides, much anticipated pick. Who will he go with? I'm in love with this team. I love this team, fantasy guides, other than when you took Jared Goff from me. That shit was not cool. We're going to have words about that. Devontae Parker, you ruined everything, fantasy guides. This team is dead now. Now you have a dead roster. Pick 175. He's got an ADP of 185. He would have been there, pal. He would have been there. Come on now. I'd rather have Tank Dell at ADP than Devontae Parker ahead of ADP. Let's see. Bryce Young, Jeff Wilson, Hayden Hurst. We got Vanilla Bryce. Great name. Great name, Bryce. You got to take Bryce Young right now. That's the only thing that's fair here. Oh, Bryce Young just went. Not connecting the dots. Hello. He's probably upset because he only has Derek Carr, I think. Yeah, he had Lamar Jackson too, so probably not taking another QB. Although who knows with this lobby, my goodness. I just don't see like a massive upside for taking 3 quarterbacks. If you are like putting yourself in a position to make real money, like really big dollars in this tournament, I don't think it's going to be backed by 3 average quarterbacks. I think it's going to be because you absolutely nailed your 2 quarterback picks, and those guys were just, money for you all year. All right, Devin Singletary, Tank Dell to close out round 15. Let's see what Pooty does. He had 3 receivers here. I can't imagine him getting another one. Can't imagine another one. He's already got 8. 1, 4, 8, 2. And he goes with Gus Bus Edwards. I might just park my running back pick until the last round just to see what we can get. We've got 3 picks left, so very, very likely that happens. Oh, where did we go? I'm trying to see how many receivers I have. I think it's 8. I think we're up to 8. Nope, we're at 7. 2, 4, 7, 2. 2, 4, 7, 2. See what we have available here. I'm gonna leave with Geno Smith and Sam Howell. We'll leave it at that. It's risky, but let's roll some dice. Let's ride. Let's go. Receivers available that I really like: Paris Campbell and Darius Slayton. I'd certainly rather have those 2 than Isaiah Hodgins or Jalen Hyatt ahead of ADP. No, thank you. Deion Jackson. Are we for real here? Are we for real? Pick 183. Come on, guys. Like, you're just getting aggressive. Like, I understand. Like, oh yeah, go after your guys, but you can still target your guys, and you don't have to do it ahead of ADP. Deion Jackson still probably wouldn't have been drafted, even with the Jonathan Taylor news. I just don't see it happening a lot. Back to receivers: Campbell, Slayton, like I said. Hunter Renfrow, still a really good football player. Like, you may not love the situation, you may not have loved last season, but very good football player. Getting him this late in the draft, I just don't see much downside. And if the offense is better than it was last year, my goodness, I mean, Renfrow could really benefit. This is still a guy that had 9 receiving touchdowns 2 years ago. He's a wide receiver 1. What? It's insane. Keandre Miller, Tajay Spears for S. Chill the last 2 rounds. Let's see, Tyler Conklin, one of my favorite picks. Tyler Conklin, my most exposed tight end. Tight end 16 the last 2 seasons. Now he gets Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Why can't he be in the top 12 conversation? Good football player. And like little to no competition. All righty. We're about on the clock here. We're on deck. Alejandro going up ahead of us here. Excuse me. Let's see. I'm thinking about Michael Wilson here because I have a fair amount of Darius Slayton. I was just talking. Alejandro. What the hell? What the hell, Alejandro? Speaking it into existence. Come on, brother. I'll take some Paris Campbell here, but only because Alejandro's twisting my arm. Unreal. I have a lot of Darius Slayton. Like, Slayton is a great value, but I want to mix it up a little bit with the Giants backfield, the receivers, the receiving room. Just because I've taken a lot of Isaiah Hodgins, some Jalen Hyatt, but mostly Darius Slayton, because you could get Darius Slayton with like the last pick in the draft. So we'll cut it up here. But that should have been a Michael Wilson pick. Boo, Alejandro. Boo you. Not cool. Not cool. John Mechie. I said that I would wait till the last round for my last running back, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Are they going to let Taysom Hill fall this far? I'm taking Taysom Hill here if Buddy doesn't take him. He probably will because he only has 2 tight ends. But Taysom Hill, need we be reminded he scored 140 fantasy points on Underdog last year and 124 the year before that. Yeah, I will take Taysom Hill. What is that? 14 spots after ADP as my third tight end. I've drafted Taysom Hill at ADP as my first tight end and then backed him up with two dumpster tight ends. All right, Donta Foreman, Darius Slayton. There goes Darius Slayton. Again, Darius Slayton going in round 17 in this draft. I've seen him go in the last round more than a handful of times. It's a very consistent narrative. Maybe people are moving him up a tad, but still a great late round target the last 2 rounds. Richie James, like that. I consider myself to be a Richie James truther. So always love to see the love. Jerome Ford, not bad. S. Chill. I don't really love the last 3 picks, though. Tajay Spears, Keandre Miller, Jerome Ford. It's the what could happen scenario. Yeah, I do not like his running backs. Like, does he have good receivers? Devontae Adams, Christian Watson, DeAndre Hopkins. That's a bully tight end team. That's kind of tough. I don't really love the product here. I mean, you get to say that you did it. Oh, I've got Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce. One of those guys is going to be my flex. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but I just don't see it, returning massive results. You're going to need both of those tight ends to hit double-digit touchdowns this year. Probably feel good that could happen, but I don't think that it will. Deuce Vaughn, Chase Claypool, again, great late round targets. Both are going to have roles in their offense. Deuce Vaughn has been looking really good recently. Like, I think he can take over Malik Davis for that number 2 role there. And Chase Claypool, he's just going to play a lot of snaps. I know, like, the offseason media has not been favorable for him. Like, he has not been the bright star of Bears camp. But at the same time, like, he's just a big athletic dude, and the team gave up draft capital for him. Like, he's going to get usage, mostly just for being on the field to block. Like, the offensive line was bad. They want to develop the run game. And I think that keeps Chase Claypool on the field. I think he plays a lot of snaps this year. Arguably as many as DJ Moore. DJ Moore, decent blocker. Definitely played a hand in some of the success for Christian McCaffrey early on, but I think Chase Claypool, his size and his athleticism and demeanor, I think he's going to be able to create problems for the run game and, again, keep himself on the field. Zach Ertz, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CJ Stroud. Again, don't hate it, but don't love it. Like, I like Trey McBride over Zach Ertz all day, every day. I think that's going to be his job. Zach Ertz, while he might be the starter even if healthy, I just feel like this Arizona roster is not for him. I could easily see him getting traded at some point this season, and I'm not trying to invest in players that need to be moved off their current team, to be a better product. Like a Jonathan Taylor. Like, I've gotten plenty of Jonathan Taylor, but as all of this ruckus is going on in the media between him and the Colts and what's going to happen, I'm kind of staying away. I mean, as you saw tonight, like, he was moved up well ahead of ADP. That's not something I want to do. Like, if I can get Jonathan Taylor at a huge discount, yeah, sure, I can buy in. If I get him 10 picks after ADP, I will definitely consider that. But at ADP, there's just so many good players with good situations that give me a lot more confidence right now. And right now, as I'm saying that, I've got like 23 plus more drafts to go, 22, whatever it is. We got a long way to go, and I've got 16, 15 days to do it. So I got a lot of work ahead of me. Cordell Patterson, Mac Hollins, Mecole Hardman, Isaiah Likely, these last couple of picks here. I mean, I kind of like those Falcon players. I mean, Cordell Patterson dealing with an injury, life's MVP here, playing kind of like a backdoor, season exit type of role for him. I just feel like Bijan's going to come in and blow the doors off for this offense. Mac Hollins, also like as well, a great late round target. One of the best blockers per snaps played at the wide receiver position last season with a minimum of 1,000 snaps. He had the highest blocking grade per PFF. So undervalued, kind of, underspoken receiver, we'll say, not given enough credit for what he does for the offense. An offense that's going to want to run a lot as well. Followed up by Kareem Hunt, not rostered, not on a team. Josh Downs, Wan'Dale Robinson, Bobby Trees Woods. I'm going to be going with the running back here. I don't want to say it out loud because Alejandro, probably the one person watching, going to try and snipe me. I got Ty Chandler, Leonard Fournette, Chase Brown, Kyrene Williams. I might go Ty Chandler here. I know I just said it out loud. I said I wasn't going to. Here goes Alejandro. Pew. Pew. Ty Chandler. Did he just auto pick? Allen Robinson. Very well could have been an auto pick. I'll take Ty Chandler here. I'll get it. Like I said, I'm not an Alexander Madison stan, so I'll take the shot. Fill the void of my my Dalvin Cook shares. Does have the same bye week as Khalil Herbert. That's not great, but I have my top three guys, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, and Dalvin Cook well ahead of that. So we'll give a little bit of a recap here, and we're going to head out. Appreciate anybody that jumped in. We went Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, Dalvin Cook, Khalil Herbert, Geno Smith, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyler Higbee, Sam Laporta, back-to-back tight ends, rounds 12 and 13. Sam Howell, because everyone stole quarterbacks that I want. 4 quarterback run right before that. Not cool. Alejandro, Chris, Swish, S. Chill. You're on my list. You made the shit list. All right, closing it down with Curtis Samuel, Paris Campbell, Taysom Hill, Ty Chandler. Guys in the 4 last rounds that I believe will have roles for their offense and play a fair amount of snaps this year. So appreciate you jumping in with us today. Be sure to go over to Underdog and use promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. I'll be dropping more picks as we get closer to the kickoff of the NFL season. Be sure to follow our YouTube channel. Smash the like button. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts. We have all sorts of great fantasy content for you. IDP, Dynasty, Redraft, Best Ball, as you've just seen. Auction content with our old-fashioned football page. So come check us out. Come ride with us. We'll take care of you. And best of luck this season. Take care.